Have you ever wondered what Honda's future looks like? Not just the next Civic or Accord, but the kind of cars that could reshape how we drive, how we feel behind the wheel, and how we connect with the road itself? If you're a true car lover, especially one who respects the quiet confidence of a Honda, not flashy, not loud, but always there when you need it, then what's coming in 2025 and 2026 might just be the most exciting chapter yet. Because something is shifting. Honda is no longer just playing it safe. It's pushing boundaries toward electric power, smarter design, and deeper performance. Not by copying trends, but by staying true to its roots, efficiency, dependability, and that satisfying sense of control when your hands are on the wheel. In the next few minutes, you're going to hear about 8 of the most impressive Honda cars scheduled to hit the market in the next 2 years. Some are bold new electric vehicles. Others are refined legends, reborn with modern tech and cleaner powertrains. Each one is built with purpose, and more importantly, built with you in mind. So stick around till the end, because I'll share a special model that most people don't even know is coming. One that could change how we see Honda forever. But before we dive into the list, let's talk about why this moment in time matters. Not just for Honda, but for anyone who cares about the future of cars. Let's be honest, the car world is changing fast, maybe too fast. Everyone's racing toward electric everything, throwing out gas engines, chasing AI dashboards, and promising autopilot futures. And in the middle of all that noise, one company has stayed steady, watching, learning, and planning carefully. That company is Honda. Why does that matter? Because Honda's entire philosophy is based on something a lot of car makers have forgotten: balance. Not just balancing speed and safety, but balancing emotion with reason, simplicity with technology, affordability with quality. In a world where brands are constantly shifting identity, Honda has never lost sight of what drivers actually want. And that's no accident. In fact, it's part of a long-term strategy that's finally reaching full speed. Honda has committed to achieving 100% zero-emission vehicle sales globally by 2040. That includes hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and pure EVs. They're also investing billions into solid-state batteries, tech that could double the range of EVs and cut charging time in half. That's not just industry hype. It's a glimpse into a future where Honda doesn't just compete, it leads. But while other companies announce electric concepts that vanish in a year, Honda builds slow and smart. It releases models that people actually want to drive. Just think about the Civic, or the CR-V, or the Accord. These aren't just cars, they're long-term relationships. And here's the part that hits hardest for car lovers. Honda isn't sacrificing performance in the name of sustainability. They know driving should still feel good. That power should still respond when you press the pedal, that a car shouldn't just move you, it should move with you. So if you're wondering whether Honda still has that magic, that special mix of engineering soul and real-world sensibility, then what's coming next will give you your answer. Because the 2025 and 2026 lineup? It's not just new, it's meaningful. You'll see reimagined icons, quietly fierce EVs, hybrids that finally feel alive, and designs that respect the past while charging into the future. These aren't cars you'll forget in a parking lot. They're cars you'll look back at when you walk away. And that's what real car lovers crave. Not just horsepower numbers or touchscreen sizes, but connection, story, legacy. See, psychology tells us something powerful. We bond with machines that reflect us, that match our values, that echo who we want to be. That's why certain cars feel like ours, long before we ever buy them. Honda understands that better than most. They don't just sell vehicles, they sell trust. And trust, in the automotive world, is earned mile by mile. So before we get into the specific 8 models, keep this in mind: each one of them is a product of that trust. A result of decades of reliability, smart design, and respect for the driver. This isn't just a list, it's a glimpse into a brand that's still evolving and still putting drivers first. And remember, at the end of the video, I'll reveal a bonus model that almost no one is talking about yet. Something that could be the sleeper hit of 2026. Ready to see what Honda has been building for you? Let's get started. Honda has always been about more than just getting from point A to B. It's a brand that treats the car not just as a tool, but as an experience. For many, their first Civic or Accord wasn't just their first car, it was their first taste of freedom. Their first road trip, their first real connection to the road. That emotional bond doesn't come from flashy marketing or oversized grills, it comes from consistency. It comes from knowing that every time you turn the key, or now, push the button, the engine will fire up, the ride will feel smooth, and the car will do exactly what you ask of it. In a world where some automakers chase trends just to grab headlines, Honda stays rooted in values. And yet, what's remarkable is that this rootedness hasn't made Honda slow, it's made them deliberate. And now, that deliberate approach is starting to pay off in a big way. Behind the scenes, Honda has been quietly preparing for a massive shift. A shift that respects its legacy but embraces the future. What's coming in 2025 and 2026 isn't just a refresh. It's a strategic evolution that shows how a brand known for reliability can also lead in innovation. Globally, Honda has pledged to become carbon neutral by 2050. That sounds like a distant goal, but the groundwork is happening now. In Japan, North America, and Europe, Honda is aligning its entire manufacturing and development pipeline to prioritize clean energy, electrification, and intelligent design. In fact, Honda has already announced its plan to launch 30 new electric vehicle models globally by 2030, targeting an annual production of 2 million EV units. But here's what makes that unique. Honda isn't just building EVs for the sake of being electric. They're building them with their signature restraint and logic, designing cars that drivers will want to live with, not just show off. And when it comes to hybrid technology, Honda is miles ahead of many competitors. Just look at the success of the CR-V hybrid and Accord hybrid in recent years. These aren't stopgap solutions. These are refined, high-efficiency systems that deliver real-world fuel savings without compromising on feel. There's a reason Honda doesn't call its hybrid drivers beta testers. It treats every product launch, whether gas, hybrid, or electric, with full-scale engineering rigor. No unfinished ideas, no empty promises, just clean, functional, and well-balanced machines. And that's what makes this moment in time so important. Because for the first time in decades, we're witnessing a full generational shift in how Honda approaches the car. Powertrains are changing, materials are evolving, interfaces are getting smarter, and most importantly, the definition of performance itself is being rewritten. In the past, performance was measured in horsepower, torque, and 0 to -60 times. And while those numbers still matter, especially to true enthusiasts, the modern driver also wants something deeper. They want responsiveness, silence, range, connectivity, a car that doesn't just move fast but moves with intelligence. This is where Honda's new E-architecture platform comes into play. Designed specifically for electric vehicles, this new framework will serve as the base for many of the upcoming 2025 and 2026 models. It allows for better battery placement, smoother handling, and greater software integration, all while keeping the vehicle light and responsive. At the same time, Honda is teaming up with other technology leaders, like General Motors, to co-develop new electric platforms and solid-state batteries. These partnerships aren't just about cutting costs, they're about pooling innovation. They're about creating a smarter, faster roadmap to the future. What's especially exciting for car lovers is how Honda balances these high-tech advancements with its long-standing mechanical precision. Even in their fully electric concepts, you can see the influence of racing heritage, efficient aerodynamics, and finely tuned driving dynamics. It's not about building the most aggressive EV, it's about building the most Honda EV. Quiet confidence, user-first design, and smooth, calculated movement. It's not performance just for thrill. It's performance that respects the road and the driver. This is something psychology research tells us again and again. People are drawn to machines that feel intuitive, that feel like extensions of their intent. When a car behaves the way we expect, or better yet, anticipates our next move, we feel trust, we feel control, and that's what Honda excels at. So when you hear terms like hybrid, EV, or electrification, don't just think of it as some future fantasy. Think of it as Honda's next logical step, one they've been quietly preparing for years, rooted in precision, tested in the real world, and designed for people who still love to drive. Because no matter how many screens are added to dashboards, no matter how efficient the motors get, the thrill of the road is still the heartbeat of a true car lover. And that's exactly what Honda hasn't forgotten. As we move into the specific vehicles, you'll notice something special about each one. Whether it's an all-new EV crossover, a next-generation hybrid sedan, or a bold return of a performance nameplate, every model reflects Honda's deep understanding of what drivers truly value: trust, longevity, and that emotional spark we feel behind the wheel. These aren't just new models. They're a new language, spoken fluently by a brand that knows the road, knows its drivers, and knows where it's going. Let's take a closer look. Let's begin with the model that's quietly generating buzz behind the scenes, the Honda Prologue. Slated for 2025, the Prologue is Honda's first true mass-market all-electric SUV. Built on the Ultium platform co-developed with General Motors, it brings together American EV architecture with Honda's unmistakable design discipline. What stands out is how well it balances size, tech, and usability. With an estimated 300-mile range, a panoramic roof, and clean digital interfaces, the Prologue isn't trying to overwhelm, it's trying to integrate. Perfect for drivers transitioning from gas to electric, without giving up comfort, control, or familiarity. Next up, the 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid, a name that doesn't need introduction, but one that's returning with serious purpose. Honda is reintroducing the hybrid version of its Civic to North America in both sedan and hatchback form. Why? Because the Civic is the anchor of Honda's compact lineup, and now it's getting a smarter, cleaner powertrain. Combining an efficient 2.0L Atkinson cycle engine with dual electric motors, the Civic Hybrid delivers real-world mileage above 50 mpg without sacrificing acceleration or responsiveness. It's not a gimmick. It's a thoughtful evolution of one of Honda's most iconic models. Then we have the 2026 Honda CR-V EV, an all-electric version of Honda's best-selling SUV. The CR-V has always struck the perfect balance between family practicality and urban maneuverability. Now, Honda is reimagining it with electric power, longer range, and a more aerodynamic design. It's expected to ride on the next Gen E architecture platform, with cabin space optimized by the absence of a gas drivetrain. Smooth, silent, and spacious, built for families who want sustainability without giving up the trust they've placed in Honda for decades. Following that is something special, the 2025 Honda Prelude. Yes, the Prelude is coming back, but not as a hardcore sports car. Instead, Honda is positioning it as a sleek, two-door hybrid coupe with sporty styling and accessible performance. It's a spiritual successor, designed for drivers who still believe in the joy of a tight corner, the rhythm of a manual-like feel, and the emotional connection between car and driver. With hybrid assistance and lower emissions, the new Prelude shows that fun and responsibility can share the same chassis. It's the kind of car that reminds you why you started loving cars in the first place. For those who lean toward sedans, the 2026 Honda Accord Hybrid will raise the bar again. Honda has already proven its hybrid system in the current Accord, but the 2026 model is expected to enhance powertrain efficiency, lower emissions further, and bring in even more refined design language. With upgraded interior tech, better sound insulation, and a wider stance, the Accord Hybrid is shaping up to be the best version of Honda's flagship sedan yet. Built not just for the commute, but for the long haul. Another name returning with a twist is the Honda HR-V EV, expected by late 2025 or early 2026. Subcompact crossovers are one of the fastest-growing segments in the industry, and Honda plans to electrify its smallest SUV with intuitive tech, regenerative braking, and fast charging. This isn't a luxury EV, it's a city-smart vehicle aimed at younger drivers who want environmental responsibility wrapped in a nimble, confident shell. And for those who don't need size, the HR-V EV offers a new kind of freedom, affordable, agile, and electric. Now let's talk performance. The 2025 Honda Civic Type R is getting updates, and while it's not going fully electric just yet, Honda is reportedly refining the drivetrain, aerodynamics, and weight distribution. No unnecessary drama, just more of what makes the Type R a legend among enthusiasts. Expect subtle gains in horsepower, sharper response in steering, and more lightweight materials. It's still a manual, it's still front-wheel drive, it's still Honda saying, "We remember our roots." A performance car, for people who still love to drive with both hands and both feet. Finally, there's the one most people aren't expecting, the 2026 Honda Elevate. Currently launching in global markets like India, this compact SUV is built for urban spaces, but its design and reception suggest it could arrive in North America with electrified or hybrid trims. Its clean lines, high ground clearance, and no-nonsense practicality are exactly what younger, budget-conscious buyers want. The Elevate may quietly become one of Honda's most versatile offerings in new markets. If it comes with Honda's latest hybrid tech, it could disrupt the small SUV game. What ties all these vehicles together is not just their technology or design, it's Honda's refusal to rush, and its focus on what matters. These aren't cars built for headlines, they're built for humans, for families, for young drivers, for commuters, for enthusiasts, for people who want their cars to work, last, and feel right. Psychology research shows that people trust brands that evolve without abandoning their identity. Honda's strength has always been knowing who it is and still finding ways to grow. The 2025 and 2026 lineup reflects that balance. Not trend chasing, not nostalgia, but forward motion with respect for everything that came before. Whether you're looking for quiet electric capability, intelligent hybrid design, or that raw mechanical joy Honda is known for, There's something here for you, and this is just the beginning. If you've made it this far, it's probably because you see something deeper in Honda, something beyond the badge or the bodywork. Maybe you grew up in the backseat of a Civic. Maybe you took your first road trip in an Accord. Maybe your first real taste of freedom was behind the wheel of a CR-V. Whatever your story is, you're not alone. Millions of people have trusted this brand for one reason: it's never let them down. That kind of trust doesn't come from marketing. It comes from experience, from quiet reliability, from the way a Honda starts every morning, from how it handles rain, cold, distance, and time. These cars become chapters in our lives, not just machines we drive, but companions we rely on. And that's what makes this new generation of Honda vehicles so important. It's not just about better batteries, cleaner engines, or sharper screens. It's about protecting that legacy while creating something even stronger. What you've just heard about isn't a lineup of 8 cars. It's a signal. A message that Honda isn't fading into the background of the EV revolution. It's rising with its own voice. In a world full of short-term noise, Honda's long-term vision stands out. It says, we're not just building for right now. We're building for 10 years from now, for the next family, the next generation, the next story. And yet, nothing about this transition feels like a departure. Honda hasn't abandoned its core. It hasn't chased gimmicks. It hasn't sold out for flash. It's still calm, still smart, still quietly confident. You can feel it in the new Prologue, an EV that feels simple yet fully modern. You can feel it in the return of the Civic Hybrid, efficiency brought back with refinement. You can feel it in the coming CR-V EV, the Prelude Coupe, the Elevate compact SUV. Each one is a thoughtful move, never rush, never loud, but always forward. That speaks to something deeper in us. As humans, we're drawn to what's consistent, what's thoughtful, what evolves with care. Psychologists call this emotional continuity. It's why we form lifelong bonds with certain brands, because they mirror our values, because they grow as we grow, not in a race to impress, but in a rhythm that feels real. Honda gets this. They know the average car buyer doesn't need a spaceship. They need something that works every day without fuss, and maybe, just maybe, still makes them smile when they shift into drive. In the next 2 years, Honda will be giving people more reasons to smile. And not because of horsepower alone, but because of peace of mind, low maintenance, smart design, and that Honda feeling that's hard to describe, but easy to recognize. It's the feeling that this car will be with you for years, that it'll never try to be more than it needs to be, that it won't ask you to adapt, it'll adapt to you. And if you're someone who's been unsure about where the automotive world is heading, just know this: Honda sees you, and it's building for you. Not for hype, not for headlines, for humans. Now, as promised, here's the bonus vehicle most people don't know about yet. It's the Honda EN series, currently rolling out in Asia, but under active consideration for global markets by 2026. This lineup of futuristic EVs combines minimalist design, high-efficiency solid-state battery research, and advanced AI-assisted interiors. Think of it as Honda's answer to the cutting-edge EV movement, but done the Honda way: clean, focused, and deeply usable. The EN models have been designed from the ground up as electric-first platforms. No conversions from gas models, no compromises. And while nothing is officially confirmed for North America yet, the company's roadmap suggests that we may see a production version of the EN2 concept arrive by late 2026, particularly in urban markets. If it lands here, it could be a game changer. Not because of wild speed or radical looks, but because it captures what Honda has always done best: build real cars for real people, with just enough innovation to push the industry forward. This is where the future meets Honda's legacy, in silence, precision, and trust. So if you're watching this thinking, where do I fit in this future? Know this, you do. Whether you're upgrading your family car, planning your first EV, or just waiting for a sign that the car world still has soul, this is your sign. Honda's future isn't about leaving anyone behind. It's about bringing everyone along. In the end, the best vehicles are never just about specs. They're about how they make you feel, on the road, in the quiet moments, on long drives and short errands. And if any brand understands that feeling, it's the one that's been part of our lives for decades: Honda. So here's to the next generation, not just of cars, but of drivers, of memories, of roads still to explore. Because when you drive something built with care, designed with purpose, and backed by years of trust, the road just feels different. And with Honda leading the way, that road looks better than ever.